Hello, my name is Ben Francis and I'm head of 3D design here at Godalming College. I'm just going to take you on a little tour of the department and just talk to you about our resources and the things that we do here in Godalming and design. So these are the Goodridge 900. So if you see, this is where graphics is on the left hand side over here, and then 3D design, or product design as it's used to be called, is over here. So if you walk through, you'll come to this on here, and then here we are. So this is 3D design. Okay, so when you walk directly into the classroom, you'll see we've got a design. I would call this the design studio. And in the design studio, obviously we've got a suite of computers, and there's enough computers for everybody in the class. Okay, so we do some computer stuff, mainly for obviously printing out photographs, using CAD, so 3D design, also preparing work, and also using it to sort of maybe type out annotation for our design ideas. But this is where most of the teaching takes place, and this is where all of the sort of the designing takes place on these tables here. And then obviously we've got a projector and a screen. Okay, so over here is the notice board, and you'll see that over here, this is where homework's set. So these are the groups, and then this is when it's set and it's due, and then any other important notices you will find on here as well. Okay, so this is the sort of notice page. So it's quite a big room. So this is one of the rooms that we've got. So if we come over here, just give you a little tour of some of the work on display, some architecture, and some furniture and stuff. So predominantly this is a design related course. Okay, so when we talk about the course, we're talking about ability to develop ideas. Okay, developing ideas are really, really important. The more ideas that you can develop, the more marks you will get. Okay, so you need to be really good at coming up with ideas. You need to be really good at creating ideas. You just need to be a creative, experimental person. Okay, so we've got developing ideas. That's what all this subject is about. It's also about exploring materials, techniques, and processes. Okay, so the more materials you can use, the more techniques and processes you can use to communicate your ideas, the more marks you will get. And that is really, really important. Okay, then we've got recording ideas. Is how you record those ideas. So how good are you at sketching? How good are you at modeling? How good are you at using CAD? So this is about how good you are at designing. And then finally we've got present, which is about presenting a final response. So that would be the final model, final piece of architecture, final bit of furniture, final piece of lighting, etc. Okay, so this is the classroom. You'll see books at the front, books over there. This is where most people put some of their work, where they're just carrying on with stuff. So if you need to just leave some work there, you can. And then let's go into this area. So this area is more importantly the store area, and can be considered to be the CAD area as well. Okay, so in here there are lots and lots of boxes. So let's put the lights on for you. So everyone's got a lovely box. So this is all lower six. So in lower six, wherever you do any practical, this is where you will have to find your work, and this is where all of your practical will go in terms of the first year. Okay, so you'll all get one of those. Make sure things are kept tidy. And then this is the second year over here, which comes a bit more advanced, etc. Okay, this area needs to be kept tidy. It's a big area, and again, this is where your books will be kept. Obviously, most of the books have been taken home to do work, and then this is also where the laser cutter happens. So this is our laser cutter. This is a universal. I like to call it. I would call it an old Ferrari. Okay, because it's a very, very good laser cutter. It's getting a bit old these days, but to be honest, I'd prefer a quality old Ferrari over a cheap Chinese knockoff. Yeah. So this is the laser cutter room, and you need to keep this area nice and tidy as well. Okay. So let's come back into the classroom, and then we're going to be coming over here. So we're going to be going into the workshop. Okay, so this is the workshop over here. As you see, it's a very, very big space. Okay, so let's just go in. So workshop-wise, we've got a variety of stuff. We've got a variety of wood, we've got a variety of metal, and got a variety of plastic processing. Okay, so we've got a few saws, mortiser, obviously bandsaw over here. What you can't see over here, we've got a wood turning machine as well. So that's over here. It's just some of the stock left over from the exam that needs to be put away. And then you've got some polishers as well. Very, very useful. Band facer, bobbin facer or bobbin sander, obviously so you can sand, etc. Milling machine as well. We've also got center lathes over here. And then up here we've got pillar drill. We've also got another center lathe over here, slightly newer model. And then we've got another pillar drill. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of metalworking stuff. Okay, so that's all on this side. And then if we carry it around over to here, we've got our CNC machine, which is really, really important. This is what we predominantly use for making big bits of furniture. It's one of the biggest CNC machines I've used, and as you can see, it's a whopper. So that's great. We're also updating that this year. We've got updating the software for that, so that should be running even better by this year. A bit more sort of metalworking processes. And then on this side, we've got, this is where most people take their photos of their models. We've got a couple of 3D printers over here as well. So 3D printers are really important. We've got a vacuum former. We've got a plastics oven as well, and another vacuum former. So we've got a lot of stuff, okay? Predominantly, this is where most of your practical will happen, if not all of it. And this is probably where I would say 2/3 of your lessons will take place, okay? So you'll probably spend two lessons maximum doing practical, one lesson designing. You might maybe do 1.5 practical, 1 designing, and then maybe 1 on CAD. Obviously hand tools here as well, okay? And then this is a sort of exit over here. This is sort of storage again, more aprons and stuff. So obviously you can wear an apron when you come in. And this goes out to graphics on the left-hand side, and then another classroom sometimes uses an overflow. Okay, but predominantly this is the main department. Over here we've got metalworking processes. Okay, so this is really important. So this is where brazing takes place. This is also where we do a bit of casting if you need to, any jewellery making. We've also got arc welding as well, okay, so we can do predominantly a wide variety of processes, yeah, so if you're into metal, if you're into wood, if you're into plastics, then this is where you want to be coming. This is predominantly a design and manufacturing subject. It's about designing, experimenting through woods, metals, plastics, processes, prototyping, coming up with 3-dimensional shapes, whether that's models, whether that's full-size furniture, whether that's bits of lighting, etc. Okay, and I'll go into the sort of architectural side of things later on, but we do a big architectural project, and these are some outcomes that were made last year. So this is a lovely example of an architectural bridge that was made. So it's not just about maybe what you might have done in resistant materials. It's a bit, it's a bit more, it's understanding design. How good are you at design? Can you prepare ideas? Can you communicate those ideas? Can you develop those ideas? And can you manufacture those ideas? So one of the last places again is in here. So this is really staff only, but you can have a little look in here. So this is more about the storeroom. So this is the area where we keep all the woods, metals and plastics, and this is where we cut some of the large materials for you. But this is predominantly staff only, okay, and then this is will be locked. And then if you come through here, again, this is a bit more of another storage area. Some of the models from last year, paper, some teaching resources that I use. And then if you follow this round, this will basically take you back into the store area, as you can see here. And then if you come through here, this will take you into the classroom. And then the last thing to talk to you about is obviously just, this is the design office. You have a little look in there. This is sort of where the office and the departments sit. But if you've got any questions, this is where most people will be. But predominantly, this is 3D design. I like to just call it design now, yeah. And this is where most of the interesting, creative minds come up with ideas. And then, yeah, we finished the tour by pretending to go outside, and then back out here, and you're right back onto the main strip.